Okay, 2015 was the year I discovered I was decent at drawing. I was into the easy-to-draw Disney character videos that I decided to just wing it. And they all looked traced. Boy, do I regret it. But it was a start, and now I can draw Kawaii Baymax with my eyes closed. Call that a flex. Speaking of which, I just found my old drawings. Oh my gosh, this is a trip down memory lane. Here was my first attempt at drawing Binius and Lerb, the boys. I really butchered Candace. There's a drawing. This is what I mean by tracing. I wonder if I went to school and showed everybody, like, I'm a Disney artist. Harry Potter. He kind of looks more like Theodore from Alvin and the Chipmunks. Don't throw away. Yeah, okay, awesome, eh? Okay. During that time, I also discovered the comic strip known as Garfield. You may have heard of it. It's only a little popular. I'm not sure why I was so obsessed with the orange cat. The jokes weren't even that funny. What was I thinking? I did not let out one chuckle. There was no belly laughs, but it became a daily activity where I'd open old newspapers or go to the website and just indulge in John Arbuckle and lasagna. And I know when I say this, I sound like I'm 60 years old. I'm only 14 and I'm still learning about the arts to this day. I have so much more improving to do. To be honest, I'm grateful for Garfield. Although we don't always get on the right track, he is always there to have my back. He's also very fat. I'm a poet. But I'm thankful to Garfield for showing me what webcomics were. That's right, webcomics, where an artist could make a comic strip, a daily comic strip, where you can check out. And I also made some of these. Sadly. And they were bad. I still don't know the punchline to this one, but apparently 500 people did. Although a lot of things I made in 2016 and 2017 I personally find cringy, it was a starting point, and I've improved drastically from then. At least I like to think. Now, what does Garfield have to do with me starting animation? Well, I consider it a step into the world of creativity and art, and also because it makes this video longer. And then when all hope for my comic strip future was at its peak, I discovered YouTube animation. I found this Flipnote animator named Macho1999, and I instantly wanted to do that. The fact that you could take a clip from an already existing property and then animate it however you'd like, that just gave me a boost of happiness unimaginable. Rest in peace, Flipnote. I only got to experience it for like a year when I was younger, but the videos remain to my heart. They were so amazing. I liked the song, boom, I could animate it. I liked the part in that one movie where the character says, I ordered the flies with gorgonzola sauce. I could animate it. I didn't know animation existed. I thought it was just a bunch of robots programmed to animate and release these movies, which would be cool, but wasn't the truth. There was real people making these stories, staying up late to finish them, and I wanted that for myself. I wanted to stay up late with a hurting back just to finish a frame of animation. But then I quit doing them. It was a hassle searching for the right audio, and it was too much to keep up with. But as one thing came to an end, the Storytime animation community shined its light, burning on my face. I wanted to be part of this community and was going to try my hardest to do so. The fact that all these people around my age and older can draw and chill is just a cool community. There's no drama, no competition, at least at the time. They all had a mutual agreement that these videos take time and they all are doing the same thing. And we also have really bad posture. Rest in peace. And that's where this story really takes place. I made my first few Storytime animations in the span of like one day. I was doing weekly uploads, which I don't suggest. If you want to be able to watch your old videos without wanting to delete all of them, spend more than one day on them. Trust me, this is what my first attempt looked like. Is that a bug? Welcome to Tips and Tricks with Awesome, where I'm going to show you some animation tips and animate CC. It's a little expensive, unless you know where to look. Tip number 1, you're gonna need a school stories video. You need a school stories video? Tip number 1, you're gonna need a good name, something that stands out. Lucky for me, I asked my mother for a name. Yo, mother, give me a name. Yeah, give me a name.
Awesome.
I also don't suggest having Animates in your name, because then you're basically tying yourself up to one genre. If you weren't Evan Animates, you'd just be like, Evan. and nobody likes Evan. If you're animating and you don't have enough movement in your animation, I really suggest doing bounces in your animation. By the way, these tips are for beginners or people that have just started. If you've already been animating for a while, these tips probably don't help you at all. But watch anyway. Let's say I have Awesome right here, and he switches to this pose, and of course you can just go with this, but then it's just, you know, there's not much movement to it. I do another frame, and then I make it a little thinner, and then when he goes back up, make him a little thicker. So he basically just goes thinner, thicker, and then out. So, boom. Of course, it's not a big difference. You just gotta keep on making more with it. Tip number 3, lip syncing. Now, you don't have to lip sync your videos, and maybe you already do, but lip syncing is something that I love to see in animation. For example, I want to do the word sandwich. I'm just gonna make an S pose, then an A pose, which here's a chart of just mouths, and then So now we got sandwich, but it's not that flowy. We want it to be flowy. So I kind of just do the bouncing effect again. Make another frame, make this mouth go up, and then basically when it's hitting the next pose, it goes down a little and then back up. Sandwich, which isn't a big difference, but it's big enough to make it look better. For my Animate CC users in particular, if you want some also simple movement, I always like to, when a character is nervous, I always want to make them a little more shaky, so I just go to Modify, Shape, and then Smooth. That's a little too smooth. What? And then I'm just gonna basically paste these. Kind of adds this distorting effect to it. Smear frames are cool too. So smear frames is basically where you just stretch out the character. I really like doing it sometimes, but I've also seen some people that just hold it for too long where it doesn't look as cool. This is just a normal smear frame without me really adding much to it. But if I wanted to add much, I could slowly move it up. So there's that would last 2 frames and it'd just be going up a little. And then this one would last 2 frames and the character would just go up a little, a lot more probably. And boom, this character will get there and then it'll just bounce back a little. Boom. You can make it faster by just changing the frames. Another tip for animation is make the video, which is a very easy tip. Just make it, have fun, and don't worry if it's not incredibly amazing. I mean, I know I'm basically the Picasso of animation.